Good morning, Stampers. It's Teppy Schwartzel, and I am in Anthem, Arizona. And I'm saying good morning to all my stamping friends out there. I'm with AridDesertDesigns.com, and I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. I never seem to be able to get the word demonstrator out, but here we are. It's a little nippy here, but that's okay. We can get through that. Today, I've decided to do another 3D project. I really like these. They're challenging, and it's to be able to hold hand cream. This is an ounce, but I think it can handle up to 2 ounces, or it can handle, a lot of other stuff. You can put gifts in there or candy or whatever. It's a pretty big box, but it's still compact enough to be able to be a stocking stuffer or just a nice gift. It could be a great gift for a child's teacher, or somebody that does your nails or cuts your hair or whatever. So why don't we get started? I've called this the 3D Lots of Love at Christmas box. So I'm going to turn the camera around and hope I don't botch this up. This is not my favorite part of doing this. So there you go. Cord out of the way. Sorry about that. Okay. If you do not have a demonstrator and you would like a catalog, this is the 2020 holiday catalog from Stampin' Up. Got some beautiful paper crafting in here, and there's still time to get this and get some great great Christmas gifts. This is also the 2019-2020 catalog, the annual catalog. If you don't have a demonstrator and you'd like either one of these, please let me know and I'll send it out to you as soon as possible. Okay, now this is the current host code. So if you decide to place an order with me, then you would use this host code if your order is under $150. At $150 and over, don't use the host code because Stampin' Up! Will give you some special rewards, and I would even send you a little thank you gift. So I will post this when this video is posted to YouTube and also on my blog. And this is always runs down the right-hand side of my my blog. So let me show you what these boxes look like, and then we'll get going. All right, this was my prototype, and I'm just trying to see if this is coming up yet. Make sure this is doing okay. No, it's not there yet. Okay, well, never mind. Let's just hope this is going live. Oh, yep, there it is. Okay, this was my prototype, very simple, kind of plain, and this is the way it opens. So having this ribbon does not affect the opening, all right? This was another one that I did, and I was using the embellishments from the November paper pumpkin kit. And then this is the designer series paper. Okay. But the one we're going to do today is this one. This is Pretty Peacock cardstock, and this is designer series paper from the Brightly Gleaming Specialty Designers designer paper. And this star is, hang on a second, from the Stitch Stars dies. And this is what they look like. This is the star that I used, and then this second star, which is the background. And I'll show you all that when we get to that point. Okay, so I'm going to put that away. All right, now, as I showed you, I didn't show you, yeah, I did show you this before. Okay, this is the hand cream. This is from Bath and Body Works. It's a one fluid ounce hand cream, but I know it'll fit up to a 2-ounce container. But again, this box has pretty much room. It measures, and there's my ruler. It measures, there's a score line here. It measures from there, and I wouldn't put anything up above that. It measures 5.5 inches and long and about 2.5 inches wide, but it's pretty, it's got some depth to it. So you could put jewelry in here, you could put anything in here. Okay, let's put this back in here. Okay, now I will also post this on my my blog. This is the template, and then this purple area, I hope this is all showing up in there. Yes, it is. This purple area, that's going to end up getting cut off after we do some other stuff. And then this is the template for the designer series paper. You'll need 2 of these. They're 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. The box template is 6.5 by 8 inches. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, I've already cut out a piece of, Pretty Peacock that's 6.5 by 8 inches. And I'm going to bring in my my paper trimmer so that we can do the scoring on this. And what we're going to do is we're going to start on the 6.5 inch side. And I probably don't have to pull that out. All right, can you see that? Is it showing up or is it too far? Yep, okay, we're good. Okay, so on the 6.5 inch side, we're going to score at 3 inches. And remember, don't use this the darker colored one. The lighter colored one is the scoring tool. And we're going to score that at 3 inches. And then we're going to score it at 6 inches. Got a little bit of a glare here. And then we're going to rotate it clockwise. And we're going to score it at 1.5 inches. And don't worry, I'll have all the measurements and everything on the website. Are we at 1.5? Yeah. Yep. Okay. Okay. And we're going to score it at 7 inches. Okay, now we're going to rotate it clockwise again. And what we want, why did that come, that didn't come out right. Shoot. Ugh, what is going on here? Is this 1.5 inches? Oh, why didn't this come out right? Okay, I'm going to have to cut another piece of Pretty Peacock, so bear with me. I don't know what happened. Okay, so we're going to cut it out, cut it off at 8 inches. I'm so sorry. And 6.5 inches. Okay, so now on the 6.5 inch side, we're going to score it at 3 inches. And 6 inches. rotate it clockwise. So we're going to go at 1.5 inches. Oh, maybe I did 1 3/4 inches. That may be what I did. And 7 inches. I don't think that's still right. 1.5 inches. Wow. I'm struggling here today, and this is not coming out right. I did this 3 times yesterday. Oh my goodness. What am I going to do here? 1.5 inches. Why isn't that? Is that coming out right? Aha, yes, I'm right. I'm sorry, I'm right. It just didn't look right to me. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to come up to the 6.5 inch side that has the 1.5 inch margin. Okay, sorry about that, folks. All right, now, but what we want to do is we want to put this smaller margin on the right hand side, and we're going to score at 2 inches and 5 inches. But what's going to happen is, you see this score line, this top score line up here? We're going to stop at that score line. So we're going to go to 2 inches. Sorry for the confusion. And it looks like my thing came up. Yep. All right. So we're going to just go down to that score line. All right. And we're going to do another score line. And that's not coming out right. What's going on with me today? I think I'm going to have to stop this video and start it up in about 5 minutes. Okay. Sorry, folks. I'm so sorry. We'll see you back in 5 minutes. Okay, well, that was embarrassing. I was doubting myself, and I am so sorry. So here we are again. We're going to do this with the one we had started on. Okay, again, we have a piece of paper of Pretty Peacock that's 6.5 by 8 inches long. And our first score line was on the 6.5 inch side at the top, okay, and we were going to score it at 3 inches, which we've already done on, of course not. Okay, we must have started over here. Okay, so we scored it at 3 inches, and then we scored it at 6 inches, which gives us this small margin over here. Then we rotate it clockwise, and then we're on the 8 inch side. So we're going to score it at 1.5 inches, which is right here, and then we're going to score it at 7 inches, which is right there. Then we're going to rotate it clockwise again, okay? And on this clockwise side, which is the 6.5 inch side, we're going to score it at 2 inches. Perfect. But we're only going to go down to this first score line. Again, I am so sorry and embarrassed, but this is probably not one of the easiest projects to do. Then we're going to come over and we're going to score it at 5 inches. And we're also only going to go down to this first score line. Boy, oh boy. I hope that this never happens to you. Okay, so now we have all of our score lines. Okay, now I'm going to put this away for a bit. Or you know what? Let's go ahead and cut the designer series paper. This is the prototype for the designer series paper. It's 2 3/4 by 5 1/4, and we're going to make a little tick mark at 1 3/8. Now, if I can find my designer series paper, I feel so unorganized today, and I had everything all set up. Here's my designer series paper. The other thing I'm going to suggest is don't pick anything that's directional. you'll waste a lot of paper and it'll give you a lot of headaches to try and get everything to match up. This is what I would call directional paper. It has a, it has a specific way that it needs to be put on there. You don't want your reindeer going sideways or upside down. And I also had to match up. So that was a bit of a feat. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to take this designer series paper and we're going to do a little tick mark on the front with a pencil at 1 3/8 inch. Okay. Now, we're going to do it at the very bottom. If I can get that on there. 1 3/8. 1, 2, 3, right before the 1/2 inch mark. I can't see that. Just make sure. Measure twice, cut once. Yep, okay. So 1 3/8. One, 2, 3. And you want that all the way down to the base of your paper. Make sure. Yep, okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to use your cutting board, and let me just close that up. I don't need that. What you're going to do is you're going to find your tick line, which is right here, and you're going to put that right in the channel where the blade goes, and then you're going to bring your tip, your other point, right into that channel, and you're going to cut it on a diagonal. And make sure you're holding your paper down so it doesn't slip. And that will give you a nice piece. Then what you're going to do is you're going to put this tick mark back in the channel, and then you're going to swing it over to the other corner and also place that in the channel. There you go. Make sure to hold this down so it doesn't slide on you. Okay, and there you go. There are your 3 pieces. Okay, now we're going to do the other piece and put that to the side. And I'm sure I'll forget where I put them. Just remind me, everybody, that it's over to the right-hand side on my table. So put that right in the channel. And cut. Nice little triangle there. And put that back in the channel, that little tick mark. And bring that into the other channel. Hold your paper down. Okay. And there you go. All right. So, done with that. Okay. I'm pretty sure I'm done with that. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is, okay, as you see, if you see this purple here, that's going to end up getting cut off. That's on this smaller margin over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut at an angle into the corner there. This just gives it a better look when you're folding your box up, when you put it together. And then you cut it just to the right of the score line. That's so you can get rid of that score line so it won't show up on anything. Get that into the corner. Okay. And then we're going to cut off the other one. Again, on an angle, into the corner. And on this side, you're going to cut just to the left of the score line. And again, that's just to get rid of the score line. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we are going to fold on all the straight score lines. We're not going to do anything with these 2 score lines that only go to the first score line yet. That's going to be taken care of after we get done with all these other straight lines. And get your bone folder so you can have some nice crisp edges. Okay, there you go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come up, and you need a ruler for this, and here's my ruler, and you need a scoring tip. Now what we're going to do is, just want to make sure you can see this, I'm going to put my scoring tip right at the intersection of this score line that only came down to the first score line, and then I'm going to put my ruler up here. And I want it to go all the way down to this corner, and then I'm going to have one going to this corner and these 2 other corners. So that's going to give us the diagonals on the box. All right. And what I like to do is I put my my scoring tip where I want it, and then I butt the ruler up against it, and then I come down to this other corner where I want it to end, and then I bring my ruler up against it there. It's because you don't know where this scoring, how do I say this? You don't know exactly how wide the little ball is, so it's better to have where you want the actual scoring line to be, and then butt the ruler up against it. Okay, then we're going to go over to this other corner, do the same thing. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing here. Stuck a little bit down to that corner. Okay. All right. And this is your last diagonal. Let's get that over just a little bit more. Okay. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut on these score lines that go to this first line. You're only going to the first line, and you're also going to cut the center one only to the first line. And then the last one. Okay, there you go. All right, so now you do not want to, you've got to, now you can fold the diagonals, okay? And make sure you get a crisp line down at these corners here. They're kind of hard to get at, but now that you've got it cut here, you're going to be able to fold it down, and you should be able to get at it pretty easy. Then use your bone folder. Okay. And one more diagonal to go. And again, just be careful that you've got that at the very tip there where it folds nicely. Okay. There we go. Okay, so now you've got everything folded up nicely. And now we can put the designer series paper on. pen. I didn't forget where I put it. I'm going to use a liquid adhesive. And what I do is I put the middle piece on first. It just gives me a little bit better feel of where it's going to sit before I put the other two pieces on. And again, I love the multi-purpose glue. It gives me time to move things around. You don't need a whole lot of it, but it gives you some wiggle room, whereas some of the other tapes don't. Do not make sure you do not put this on any of the score lines, because that's where the box is going to bend. Okay, when you think you've got it, then press it down. And is that going to go here? And that goes on that side. So and again, don't need a whole lot. And as usual, don't put it on the score line. Sorry. Not that you need to watch me glue. That doesn't take rocket science. So is everybody ready for Christmas? Not even close. I put the Christmas tree up. We bought it from a friend of ours because all of our stuff is still in Mexico. And put it up, and it's already got lights on it, but I can't. It doesn't seem that there's it seems that there's a strand of lights that's not working. So it looks like I have a wreath around the middle of my tree. So I'm going to have to go out and buy some lights, but that's okay. It was worth the price. So Christmas can be expensive to get going. Of course, it can be expensive to start all over again, which is what we're doing, basically. Okay. As soon as we sell the house, I'll get to have my husband here, but he'll be here for Christmas. Yay. I think he's coming on the 19th of December. Hasn't been here since September, so we're missing him, the girls and I. So we're almost there. So I'm really sorry about that little botch there. I just really questioned myself, and I shouldn't have done that. I've made a gazillion of these boxes so far, so that's what happens when you get on a live feed. Your whole world seems to just kind of collapse around you. Your fingers stop working. You question yourself. Okay, there we go. All right. So now that we've got that, I think I'll need that again. One of the other things that I do, I don't have a corner rounder. And oh, this is another spot you're supposed to cut is here. This is the top of the box. Okay. And what I've been using to round the corners is my Stampin' Up envelope maker. But there is a punch that does a corner round. So I just stick this in here. And, all right. There you go. Okay. They don't have this anymore. Sorry, it's discontinued. But it's all I've got. So now what we're going to do is we are going to, I use the Ornate Frames dies, and this is the die I used. This one right here. I use these dies constantly. I hope that this is a set of dies that continues on. And I cut out this, and this is what our sentiment is going to go on. And I am using the sentiment Lots of Love at Christmas time, and it's from the Itty Bitty Christmas set. And I am going to use Pretty Peacock. And you're going to, that's a little, okay. And this fits perfect from that little rounded edge to that little rounded edge. And you don't have to be straight. There you go. Okay. That's all I need for that. And the other thing I used were the, come on, get up here. I used the stitch die, the stars. Where are they? No. The stitch shape stars. These are the two that I used. I die cut this one out, and I die cut this out of the Pretty Peacock. This is the copper foil, and I'm going to glue those together. Doesn't take a lot of glue. And we're going to glue that in the center and just at the tips, just a little bit. Okay. And just get that on there. And this is one of my favorite die sets too. I think this is going to be around for a while, or I hope it is, because this could be used all year round on anything. There you go. All right, good. All right, those two are done. So I can put these on to the side. Yes, I am a mess today. I can't believe what a mess I've made of this video. But you know what? We all live and learn. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we could put the sentiment on. Now we're gonna glue it first. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is on this small edge here, this small margin over here, we're going to take our tear and tape, and you're going to put this right up against that score line, not over it, just up against it. Again, you do not want to, you don't want to keep it from not working, if that makes sense. Okay, and this is the end of my take your pick tool. Okay, get that paper off. Okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to fold this where you just put the tear and tape on, and then you're going to fold it right at the middle. And what that's going to do is it's going to line up perfectly with the other side. All right, so you're just going to fold that in the center and let it come down on that edge. And there you go. And now you have a box. And here's the end that opens up. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you find your seam, And that's going to be your front. Your seam is, when you're looking at the box, the seam is going to be on the right-hand side. This is going to be the last flap that you put down. This one right here, which is right next to the seam. You're going to glue all these others down. I like to push these down first just to get them so that they'll bend a little bit easier when I'm working with them. Okay, so this is your front. I'm going to put this flap down and this flap down. So these two flaps are going to get glued together. And where's my ruler? I'm going to use my ruler again. Just going to put glue on here. Don't worry about that. Now I'll be able to push that back up. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to stick my ruler in the end of the box. And I know this is hard to see. It kind of caved in on me a little bit, so I'm going to push it up. Come on. And then I'm going to push this other flap down. And I'm going to push it against my ruler and then get that to seal. I know this seems a little difficult, but it's what I found worked for me. Okay. All right, so now, yep, that's the front of the box. Now I'm going to glue this flap down to this. And this is the last flap. And glue that over there. And again, I'll use my ruler just so that I can press pretty hard on that to get that glue to seal. Okay. And there you have it. Okay, now we're going to use 18 inches of the reversible ribbon. This was from the Pretty Peacock suite. And then what we're also going to do, we're going to glue the sentiment down here. Let's just get that done. Get that out of the way. Put that in the center. Let that set up for a second. Okay, now we're going to, or I'm going to try and tie a bow. As much as I've messed up everything else today, let's see how this works. I hope I get better at doing this so that I don't embarrass myself, but I'm going to have to redo this video probably anyway. So, okay, I'm going to come down. And if you don't want to do a bow, I mean, you do whatever makes you happy. I like bows. So we're almost done, folks. And naturally you have to fuss a little bit with these. Sliding off camera, of course. But I think this is just such pretty ribbon. Again, just get that where you want it. And you will be able to, I used a mini glue dot to put it underneath the bow. And let's use our pick tool to get that off of there. And just put that toward the top. And cut your ends off. And then what I did, I used a mini glue dot at the top, but I also used a mini dimensional. I'm going to put the star on like this. So I used a mini dimensional here and here. Oh, I'm just all thumbs today. And we're going to take a mini glue dot. And it's going to go like that. So we're going to put that there. Take the paper backing off your mini dimensionals. And there you go. And voila, where did my cream go? Did I put that back in here? I did. Okay, oops. Guess what? We still had to put, all right, I used the rhinestones from the Noble Peacocks. And I these are the Noble Peacock colors. And I put one up here. And again, this is totally up to you, whatever way you want to do it. And one down here. And your cream or whatever you want to go in there goes right in there like that. I hope you like this, and if you want to, you could even take a mini glue dot and put it underneath the ribbon to hold it down a little bit. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you're looking for a demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator. If you'd like to become a discount shopper, that would be fantastic. The other thing is, if you want to order anything that was used today, please use this host code. As I said, this will be on my my blog, and it'll be down the right hand side. It will also be included in the description of the video today. Again, I'm really sorry about the mess up, and I will edit it and get it straightened out before I post it to YouTube. I want to thank you so much, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch with me. Love you guys, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.